Hey, today I'm talking about the newest installment in the Mad Max saga, Furiosa. This stars Anya Taylor-Joy and Chris Hemsworth, and the basic premise is this is a prequel to the 2015 film that tells the story of how Charlize Theron's character came to be the way she is. And it's pretty great. It's a lot of fun. I definitely enjoyed myself throughout the entire thing. I do have some complaints, but I'm going to start with the stuff that I liked. First off, the story. I think the story was really good and really interesting. It went to some neat places, some unexpected places. I also appreciated that they weren't afraid to let the passage of time happen and also stay in those moments. It was a long time before Anya became Furiosa. We spent a good chunk of the movie with another actor in the role. That was without a doubt the right choice because that added so much more emotional weight to what was happening because they were just letting us sit in this moment, in this dread, and that worked really well. And then also the performances were so good. Anya gave a great nuanced performance, which is no surprise. She's an incredibly talented actor. And then Chris Hemsworth, I was honestly impressed with because it feels like he's kind of gotten into a groove of just being very goofy character. And there are definitely Chris Hemsworth mannerisms in here, but I feel like he pushed himself. He tried something different, and I think that really worked. There definitely also are some really good action set pieces. The first time we're on the war rig and it's being attacked, that whole sequence is awesome. And there's definitely some stuff at the end too that I was really impressed with. I also really liked how strong the women were. The opening sequence of the movie, all those badass women, that was great. And yeah, I no doubt had a really good time with this film. I definitely enjoyed it. But there's a lot of little things that just pick at me a bit. It didn't knock this movie down out of my highest category. It's a really liked, but it's on the lower side of the really liked. First off, I didn't like that they firmly established that this takes place in Australia. I thought the post-apocalyptic world made the entire world look like the Australian outback. But this film establishes that no, this movie actually does just take place in the outback. For some reason, people after the apocalypse decided to go into the outback because that's a great place to live. I also really didn't like that people like Immortan Joe look exactly the same in this movie, which takes place, 20, 30 years before the previous one, and he looks exactly the same as he does in that movie. And I do get it because this is the legends, so these are people telling campfire stories, so of course the characters would look exactly the same even though 30 years in between the two movies because it's just, their mind's eye. But I still wish it would have been at least a little different somehow. I feel like they kind of lean too heavily on the iconography of the last movie instead of standing on their own. There were some really cool things here, without a doubt, but I feel like they borrowed too much from the last one. There's a lot of not good CGI in this movie, especially in the beginning, and it was really noticeable and really distracting. That was very frustrating. And just kind of the look of the film at the very end during the credits, they kind of do a montage of what happened in Mad Max Fury Road, and it's so jarring because that film looks so good. It looks incredible. And this film doesn't look bad, but when you're putting them side by side like that, it's why couldn't this newer film look as good as your older film? What happened? Again, they're all very minor complaints. They are things that bothered me, but they don't outweigh all of the good fun times that were had with this film. Not even close. So yes, I enjoyed this movie a lot, and despite my complaints, I would still, without a doubt, recommend it. It's a good, fun time. It definitely does not reach the heights of Fury Road, but that movie's incredible. It's kind of an impossible task to begin with, but on the spectrum of the best movie in this franchise to the worst movie in this franchise, it's definitely closer to the best movie in the franchise. And now for my ranking, I put this at number 8 in the really like section. And this is a total of 33 new movies so far this year.